Hello. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the creation of finance charge or interest charge invoices within the AR print statement of the Medfin application. This feature is useful in the case where you want to apply the interest charge on the balance of outstanding invoices and send to the customer for payment. Okay, so to start, I'm going to activate this print statement feature from within the receivable module menu and select the print statement. Within the AR print statement selection screen, here you can enter the date range for invoices and for company. So I'm going to go ahead and put backdated so we have enough data to work with. For this demonstration, I'm going to enter the information for only one particular company. However, if you leave the default selection starts and end to blank and ZZZ, the system would essentially generate statements for all the customers. So in this next step, I'm going to just simply preview the statements for this particular customer just to show you the existing outstanding invoices for this customer. Here, as you can see, we have 5 outstanding invoices for this customer, with the oldest one with an outstanding balance of $425.60, and that is 128 days old, and the newest one with a balance of $900 and 6 days old. And to help illustrate the details of how the interest finance charge or interest amount is calculated, I've constructed an Excel worksheet with the corresponding invoice number, the age, the balance, and the annual interest rate here. Okay. So to apply the interest charge, or to generate the finance charge invoices from the AR statement, as you can see, there is a checkbox, generate finance charge invoices, and here you can enter the annual finance charge amount. We're going to leave it as a default of 18%, but you can change it to whatever rate that's appropriate. And for this demonstration, I'm going to select a PDF printer. I'm going to go ahead and click on print. I'm going to give it a name. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the output or the generated statement. Here we can see this PDF statement file with the additional new invoice for this customer, invoice number 1362, with the description of interest charge on past due invoices, and this is the amount of the interest for all the outstanding invoices. So the total is $153.20. So let's go ahead and look closely at the calculation to see how the system came up with this amount for $153.20 based on all these outstanding invoices. For that, we're going to go turn back to the Excel worksheet. Okay. As mentioned previously, we have a corresponding invoice number here in the worksheet, and also the balance, outstanding balance, along with the number of days, the age. Okay, so let's start with the daily interest rate based on how it's calculated based on the annual rate. So the annual rate in this case is 18%, and if you look at the formula, it is divided by simply 365 days for the year to get the daily rate, and multiply by 100%, or divide by 100% in this case, to get the daily rate. And to compute the interest charge amount for each outstanding invoice balance, it is simply taking the balance, okay? And if you look at the formula, it's the balance here multiply by the age or the number of days, in this case 228 days, and multiply by the daily rate. Okay, so this is the interest charge for this invoice with this balance. And this same formula, so this same calculation is applied for all the outstanding invoices except for the invoice that's less than 30 days old. So the interest charge amount is only applicable to any outstanding invoices that are 30 days or older. So in this case, there is no interest charge for this invoice because it's within the 30 days threshold. And as you can see, once we sum up all the individual interest charge for each invoice, so the total is $153.50 for the outstanding interest charge. And if we look at the statement, and that's what we have here, $153.20. So once the interest charge invoice has been generated, in this example, we have invoice 1362. You have the option of going back to the Medfin application and look it up, and that would be under invoicing, look up invoices, and the invoice number is here. And this is how the finance charge invoice would look from within the Medfin invoice edit screen. You can see that it has the invoice date, PO number, finance charge, and the amount. Okay. Now, if you notice, the system uses the PO number. In this case, it has a very specific key pattern value in that it uses the month, the year, the customer number, and the interest keyword to identify if an interest charge invoice has been generated for that period, for that month, for that year, for that customer. If it detects an existing finance charge invoice for that period, for that account, it will not generate a new one for that customer. So with that in mind, you do have the option to regenerate a new updated finance charge invoice for any given customer simply by going back and clear out the PO number, clear out the quantity, clear out the price. And because the system uses the PO number to identify if an interest charge invoice has been generated, if it doesn't find one, it will create a new one for you. Now, this is useful in the case where the customers brought their accounts up to date, before you send out the statement, or in cases where you have new invoices, let's say in the prior period to the statement date, let's say in September or August or whatever, and you need to include those newly created invoices as part of the finance charge calculation. So essentially that's how you do it. Simply go back, clear out the PO number, clear out the quantity and price to essentially setting it to 0. And by setting it to 0, you're back to a state where you don't have a finance charge invoice. And then you just simply follow the previous step to regenerate the finance charge invoice again. So that's how you generate a finance charge invoice for any given customer using AR print statement option within the Medfin application. Thank you for watching.